So it's been a while. I did not film any footage at all last week for a reading vlog, so I just decided not to do one because there would be no point in me playing catch up. It's Wednesday at 10 a.m., so I am a little late, but what else is new? I do have a lot to update you on, and kind of a very short time span in which that happened. So, first off, last week I did finish The Language of Fire by Stephanie Hemphill. It was good. I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't mind-blowing or anything, but it was enjoyable for what it was. I picked up Rook by Sharon Cameron, and that one was a little bit more of a slower going read for me. I flopped between physically reading it and listening to the audiobook, and I did not enjoy it for like the first 50% of it. I thought it was just going super slowly, and then the last like quarter of it picked up and it got so much better from there. It's just the whole plot was taking a long time to get moving, and it's basically a dystopian futuristic retraction kind of lifestyle in the world. And whilst I do like that kind of twist on dystopian is still generally not my favorite. But I did enjoy certain aspects of the book, so I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It was a good, enjoyable read, and now, as I'm over halfway into the month, I only have the Symptoms of Being Human left to read for my Bookopoly TBR. I still have quite a few books to tackle for the Mary Bookmas TBR, even though I know I'm not actually completing that challenge necessarily because I don't want to pick up the group pick. I'm not in the mood for what it sounds like that book is. I still do have, 5 other books to read if I wanted to get everything done on my TBR that I had hoped to get done. But I am about 60% into The Symptoms of Being Human by Jeff Garvin, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm pretty sure I should be able to finish it today because it's my day off, and whilst I am doing chores and things, and I plan on getting the last bit of Christmas shopping that I have to do done today, so I can just not worry about it and just get through the remaining days of this work week before I can go home again and see my family. But yeah, so I'm about 60% into The Symptoms of Being Human, and I know I didn't really summarize it very well in my TBR video. I didn't quite know the specific details, but it follows Riley Kavanaugh, who transfers to a public high school in his junior year, and Riley identifies as gender fluid. Once I'm done with the symptoms of being human, I hope to start A Heart So Fierce and Broken finally by, what's the author's name? Bridget Kemmerer. A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer. I haven't looked too deeply into what's happening in the sequel, but I do know that it follows a secondary character that was in the first book as the main character in this book. To briefly summarize, the first book is A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which follows Harper, who is a regular girl in our world, who one day gets kidnapped by this guy from a fantastical world, who then takes her through a portal of some kind to his world to try and break a curse. As this series is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, or at least the first book is. I don't know about the rest of the series. This is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, so the prince of this fantastical realm that Harper is being brought to is cursed to be reliving the same season over and over again until the prince can find a girl who will fall in love with him. And so it's got some similarities there, but it is so different as well, and I just really loved Harper. I wasn't so much of a fan of, I don't remember what his name is, the main love interest guy. He was just kind of not my type. I guess he wasn't my favorite character at all, but that was okay because I still had Harper, who is awesome. She has cerebral palsy and she's just super kick-ass in her own way. And it just basically follows her as she tries to adjust to her new life.
2 hours later.
Alright, so I just finished Symptoms of Being Human by Jeff Garvin. I have to say a few trigger warnings. Before you pick this book up, know that it has trigger warnings for assault, anxiety, bullying, harassment. Oh my gosh, I enjoyed it so very much. I think it will get like a 4.5. It's not quite a 5-star. It just wasn't as like, I don't know, it doesn't stand out so much from a lot of the other coming of age, hard-hitting contemporary that has to do with the LGBTQIA plus spectrum, but it was still a very, very good read, and I'm really happy that I finally read it because I've been recommended this book a lot, and I knew it was definitely something that I would enjoy. So now that I finally read it, I get to recommend it to all of you, and you can pick it up if it sounds like something you would enjoy reading. However, I think I want to take a break before I go into A Heart So Fierce and Broken because this book was so hard-hitting and very emotional. I just want to go into something that's maybe not quite so intense, and so I'll probably pick up Snow White with the Red Hair, Volume 1, just to kind of get out of this intense emotional state and pick up something that's lighter and fluffy, basically. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a romance manga. It's a fantasy that takes place in the beginning of the country of Tombaroon, one of the citizens of this country called Tombaroon is named Shirayuki. I don't know what her last name is. I don't think she has a last name, or it's not important. Either way, she is a herbalist, and she runs this kind of apothecary pharmacy type thing in the world. It's not exactly specified what the official term of it is called, but she's an herbalist, and the crown prince of Tombaroon hears about her because she is renowned and like known for her really bright red hair, and so the prince requests that she must come to the castle and be his concubine, and so instead of just going willingly to the prince to become his concubine, Shirayuki cuts off her hair and flees Tombaroon and goes into the neighboring country of Wisteria, where she meets this mysterious character named Zen and his 2 friends, and they bond over this story that she tells them, and it follows their story from there, and it's just, oh, it's so good. Alright, hello, it is Thursday, just before 2 o'clock. I just got home from work, so I'll have the rest of the night to read and do reading things and other fun, entertaining wind down for the day things, I guess. That just made a whole lot of sense, really. So last night I started and finished Snow White with the Red Hair, and I just didn't update you because I didn't really do anything else aside from getting a start on A Heart So Fierce and Broken last night as well. I listened to the audiobook for a few chapters. I'm on chapter 5 now, which is not very far. I think I'm like 30-something pages into it, and I was hoping maybe after I'd listened to that audiobook a little bit, I'll pick up I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter by Erica L. Sanchez. Okay. Hi. It is 5:30 in the morning again on Saturday. I don't expect that I'll get too much reading done. I finished A Heart So Fierce and Broken last night, and I loved it. I loved it so much. I loved it even more than I loved A Heart So Curse So Dark and Lonely. I don't exactly remember how I rated it. I think I rated both of them 4 stars, but A Curse So Dark and Lonely was just 4 stars, and A Heart So Fierce and Broken is a 4.5, maybe 4.75. like I said, I loved it so much. I love Liamara, the new character we get introduced to. I love that we got more perspectives from Gray and Liamara, and Ren and Harper kind of started off the book but then kind of got phased out. It mostly focuses on Gray and Liamara and their story throughout this whole plot event of the book. And so like I said, I really enjoyed it. I'm trying not to spoil you, and I'm also trying not to shake because it's very cold in here in my car. It's warming up before I go and drive off to work. So yeah, I downloaded Loki on Audible now. I'll be reading that next, and maybe physically reading I'm Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter. But yeah, I should be able to finish all of the books that I plan to read for this month. Thankfully. I was really worried about that because I've missed a few days worth of reading, but now I expect that I should be able to stay on track with that. And probably even squeeze in an extra unplanned read. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how far I get in Loki and how quickly, and